I'm Jason Epperson. This is RV Miles, and it's time for the latest in RV and camping news. Welcome back, everybody. First up, a brutal heat wave is striking much of the eastern half of the U.S., with over 200 million Americans likely to be under at least a heat advisory before it's over. The National Weather Service said on Sunday that people from the Midwest to the East Coast should expect numerous daily record maximum and minimum temperatures through at least Wednesday. Light winds, sunny skies, and a lack of overnight cooling will pose a significant risk to those without adequate cooling and/or hydration, the agency said, and that says to me, campers. The simplest way to avoid heat-related illnesses is, of course, to stay out of the sun and avoid extended time outdoors in extreme temperatures, experts say. But the heat doesn't seem to be deterring people from visiting state parks over the course of the last weekend. In Connecticut, state parks and beaches across the state closed after parking lots reached capacity Sunday as people tried to find a place to cool off from the day's high temperatures. The Connecticut Department of Energy and Environmental Protection said 8 state parks were closed to new entries as their lots filled starting around 2 p.m., but parks continued to close throughout the afternoon. Stay cool, stay safe, drink lots of water if you're out there camping, folks. Fuel prices have remained remarkably steady this spring going into the summer busy road trip travel season when prices normally spike. That all changed in the last few days, beginning with Israel's strikes on Iran. Iran has partial control of the Strait of Hormuz, which is the major shipping route for crude oil from the Persian Gulf. After Israel strikes and through the U.S. strikes on Iran, oil prices jumped significantly as Iran weighed closing the strait as a retaliatory measure. WTI crude has risen from $60 a barrel at the end of May to $75 a barrel, with fuel prices reflecting the bump over the past week. A gallon of regular gas is up 8 cents over a week ago to $3.22 per gallon on average nationwide. Diesel has risen 15 cents to $3.67 a gallon. That said, as I'm recording this on Monday, June 23rd, oil prices have dropped again, with Iran's attacks on U.S. military bases seen as the response to U.S. attacks on the Iranian nuclear facilities instead of closing the strait. A continued escalation in the Middle East could have a dramatic increase on fuel prices going forward, just as the Russia-Ukraine conflict did in its early days. But for the moment, it doesn't seem investors expect oil prices to jump to the $80 per barrel prices we were seeing in 2023 and some of 2024. Of course, some of the most expensive fuel in the nation is in California, currently $4.66 a gallon for gas and $5.06 for diesel. And starting in 2026, fuel prices could jump dramatically in California even further, as 2 refineries representing 20% of the state's fuel use plan to close. A Phillips 66 and a Valero refinery together have nearly 300,000 barrels per day of refining capacity, and their loss has experts warning of at least another $1 increase in fuel prices in California, perhaps up to $8 per gallon. Valero attributed its decision to years of regulatory pressure and significant fines for air quality violations, including an $82 million penalty it received in 2024. Phillips 66 similarly cited business challenges stemming from California's strict environmental regulations. More in a moment, but first, this episode is sponsored by the folks at RV Life. The RV lifestyle is about community, and the RV community is at the heart of RV Life. RV Life recently celebrated the 1 millionth trip planned with RV Life Trip Wizard, their excellent trip planning tool for RVers, featuring all the trusted reviews, pictures, and tips from their RV Life campground site. RV Life also features several blog sites and over 20 additional RVing forums to serve the RV community. All this experience and community feedback come together to help create a fantastic RV trip planner and mobile navigation tool collectively called RV Life Pro. RV Life has marked a milestone of over 3 billion miles traveled using RV Life Pro, counting both the planned RV trips and ad hoc navigation within the included RV Safe mobile app. Take 25% off RV Life Pro at the link in the description for this episode. Speaking of California, Rob Lynch of RV Super Shows announced today during an interview with RV Business's Capital Talk that his company will be resurrecting the California RV Super Show in Pomona, just outside of Los Angeles. We've seen a few attempts to bring this show back, which at one time was one of the big manufacturer-led shows, like the Florida RV Super Show in Tampa and the, quote, America's largest RV show, that's its actual name, in Hershey, Pennsylvania. While this iteration of the show won't have that manufacturer-supported component, it will return to the Pomona Fairplex, which also has the ability to hold rallies on site. And Lynch and his company, RV Super Shows, are no slouches when it comes to producing RV shows. They now produce 20 shows, the largest RV show producer in the nation since Camping World's Good Sam Events left the business. The California RV Super Show will be held March 20th through the 22nd of 2026. Ford has released a video on its pilot Ford Towing Bootcamp events that has been testing out at a couple of RV shows. First, the North Carolina RV show in Raleigh, and then Funtown RV's Dallas-Fort Worth RV party in Arlington, Texas. And now Ford plans to bring the experience to more shows and events throughout the rest of this year and beyond, with dates and locations to be announced. Ford says over 35% of truck owners intend and aspire to learn to tow, but don't know where to start or how to use the towing technology in their trucks. Ford's Towing Bootcamp offers classroom education covering towing safety regulations, weight limits, and proper hitching techniques for free, and 2 paid experiences, hands-on hitching practice, and a 3-hour ultimate towing training experience where participants will have the opportunity to tow a trailer in a controlled environment. In 2021, Love's Travel Stops opened its first RV stop location in Guthrie, Oklahoma. Today, Love's has announced it's marked the opening of its 100th RV stop in Carlin, Nevada, just off I-80. Quote, reaching 100 RV locations is a proud moment for all of us at Love's, said Jim Wheeler, Director of Hospitality and RV Operations for Love's. We've listened closely to what RV travelers want and need: convenience, cleanliness, safety, and a well-known experience, and we've built our RV locations to meet and exceed those expectations. The company says it began expanding its RV offerings in response to increased demand for accessible, reliable places for RV travelers to rest, refuel, and refresh. The locations vary in amenities, with some acting as full-fledged campgrounds with fire pits, pickleball courts, and full restroom facilities, and others just providing hookups in a parking spot for a fee, allowing RVers to stay and use the travel stops, trucker showers, and other amenities. Finally, AAA has released its Independence Day travel predictions, estimating that 72.2 million people will travel at least 50 miles or more from home over the holiday period from Saturday, June 28th to Sunday, July 6th. I'll be out on the road with y'all. This year's domestic travel forecast is an increase of 1.7 million travelers compared to last year and 7 million more than pre-pandemic 2019. AAA's Independence Day forecast includes 2 weekends instead of 1 to better reflect the flow of holiday travelers. They project that 61.6 million people will travel by roads, a 2.2% increase over last year and the highest volume on record. AAA recommends getting routine vehicle maintenance ahead of your trip and packing an emergency kit. Last July 4th week, AAA responded to nearly 700,000 emergency roadside assistance calls. Orlando, Seattle, and New York are the top 3 U.S. destinations over the holiday period. INRIX, a provider of transportation data, expects Wednesday, July 2nd and Sunday, July 6th to be the busiest days on the road. Afternoon hours will be the most congested. Drivers should hit the road in the morning to avoid the worst traffic, but keep in mind construction, crashes, or severe weather could impact travel times. Watch for stopped vehicles and slow down and move over for emergency responders. That's it for this week's RV and Camping News Roundup. Hey, please remember we've got our homecoming rally coming up at the end of September, and we'd love to see you there. We're going to have a whole lot of fun, a lot of community. We have meals together. We play a lot of games. We have a lot of prizes, a raffle. We have a live taping of the podcast and seminars and a whole lot more, and we hope to see you there. It takes place in Amana, Iowa, right along I-80. It's real convenient for folks coming from all over the country, and we hope to see you there. All the information is in the description below. Thanks so much for being here. Hit the like button if you got something out of this video. Subscribe if you want more like it, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye, everybody.